Now it's time to go and see what Miss Violet says. She begins. I remember 5 distinct students. So again, there's 5 different people. Daniela checked out a book where the first 2 digits of its call number were consecutive. Alrighty, so we look to our Dewey Decimal chart again, and we see music is 780. Well, those are consecutive. And so that might be something she checked out. Ancient history is 940. That's not consecutive. Drawing is 740, not consecutive. French is 440, not consecutive. Fossils is 560. Those are consecutive. So Daniela checked out a book where the first 2 digits were consecutive means she might have checked out music or fossils. So if we go to Daniela's row, she would not check out history or drawing or French because the only ones that are consecutive are music and fossils. The student who checked out a book during 5th period did not check out a yellow book. So here's 5th period, and they did not check out a yellow book. And then if we look at the parentheses, whose call numbers first 2 digits were not consecutive, that is applying to the yellow book because it's inside the idea of the yellow book. So the yellow book has call numbers that are not consecutive. So I already figured out the consecutive ones were music and fossils, so the yellow book can't be music and it can't be fossils. And the student with the tie-dye backpack was not Carl. So Carl did not have a tie-dye backpack. Okay, and those are 3 different students, so let's just make sure we've covered that. So we know, have some information about what Daniela might have checked out. She's number 1. The student in 5th period is number 2, so Daniela can't be in 5th period, but we already know she's in 2nd period, so that's okay. And the student with the tie-dye backpack was not Carl. So that's the 3rd person. So we know that Daniela, being the 1st person, can't have tie-dye. And the student in the 5th period can't have tie-dye, which we already know. So that's okay. Alrighty. And then let's go on to see what else Ms. Violet has to say. And someone in an orange backpack, parentheses, holding a book whose call numbers 2nd and 3rd digits did not add up to its first number, came in during one of the first 3 periods of the day. So let's look at the parentheses. A book whose call numbers 2nd and 3rd digits did not add up to its first digit. Well, when we go through all of them, we see there's only one book where the 2nd and 3rd numbers add up to the first, and that's French. It's 440, so 4 plus 0 equals 4. So we know the orange backpack did not have a French book. So we're going to go to orange, and we're going to go to French, and we're going to put an X. And that orange backpack came in during one of the first 3 periods of the day. So orange did not come in 4th, and it did not come in 5th. And a student who was in the library during an odd number period checked out a book with a call number where the first digit was even. But we already know that the first digit even has to be French. That's the only one. So a student who was in the library during an odd period checked out a book with an even call number. So French had to be checked out during an odd period. So it couldn't be period 2 and it couldn't be period 4. So now let's make sure that we account for the fact that these are all 5 different people. So Daniela is number 1. She didn't check it out during 5th period. She doesn't have the tie-dye backpack. She doesn't have the orange backpack because that's the 4th student. And the last student, the student who was in the library during an odd period, checked out a book with a call number where the first digit was even. So Daniela couldn't have picked the French, which we already knew. Now let's look at the second student. Fifth period student. Okay, so we're going to go to row 5. They did not have tie-dye. We know that. They did not have the orange backpack. We know that. And they did not take out the French book. So we'll add that here.